Hi everybody, I'm Todd McKim and welcome to another year of the Pepsi Cal Sports Report. Joining me is head coach Jeff Tedford as we get ready for the 2011 campaign. And first of all, as you have gone through camp, what were the key position battles, particularly on offense, that you were looking at?
Well, mainly at the tailback position. That we've had a lot of production at the tailback position. Very fortunate to have that. And going through camp, we need to evaluate and try to pick out the top 3 or 4 backs. We've never really relied on just one. And so that's really key, is that we focus and we find out who those guys are for us.
And then where are the areas specifically that you hope to improve upon offensively this year compared to a year ago? Because last year was a different year for you. You've never gone through anything like that.
Yeah, no, I think it's got to be the production and depth at quarterback. After Kevin got hurt last year, we went from averaging 37 points a game to 13, and you just can't win many games in our conference like that. So we have to be more productive at that position and build some depth in case we do run into an injury. We have to be able to sustain production at that position for the offense and for the team.
Off of spring ball, what did you see at that position that excites you about this year's move?
Well, Zach Maynard is the starter in camp right now, and it's going to still continue to be competitive. But Zach did a nice job of comprehending the offense. He's athletic. He can make all the throws. He can throw the deep ball. He has the arm strength to throw the intermediate balls, the touch to throw the short balls. But he's a guy who can make some people miss. He's got an escape dimension to him. He'll get up in there. We can design some runs for him. But he's smart enough and elusive enough to get up in there and get down without taking big hits. And so that's an extra dimension, added dimension for our offense that we haven't had in a while. And so we're looking forward to utilizing that.
Well, and speaking of Zach, he's got a special connection with actually a member of his family, Keenan Allen, and we had the opportunity to sit down with both of those fine young men and get their insights as to the relationship between the two on and off the field. Have similar builds and athletic ability. Zach Maynard and Keenan Allen. We've already seen Allen in action. At 6'3", 205 pounds, he was one of the top recruits in the country 2 years ago and spurned Alabama for Cal. In 2010, he broke Deshaun Jackson's freshman receptions record with 46 for almost 500 yards. Maynard is a transfer from Buffalo and secured the #1 spot on the depth chart during spring ball. Together and individually, they bring a big play component to the offense. They are half-brothers, sharing the same mother and a deep-rooted passion for football.
I have to say, my grandma's apartment. It was a field that we always played at every day. We mainly was there for daycare. My mom had to work, and we was younger. We wasn't going to school yet. So we just, since we were this big, playing pick up and run in the front yard, going crazy. I think I was like 9 years old when we first started playing organized football, and then I played quarterback because I was the only kid that could throw on the team, and I was kind of taller than everybody, so they just put me at quarterback. And my dad helped me out a lot, taught me everything I know, basically, with the quarterback position. Oh, backyard?
No, we never concentrated.
Yeah, we was always the captains. We was better than everybody else, so they let us play on the same team, so we just being the captains of the team and play against each other.
After being separated for 2 years, they're back on the field together, making plays, having fun, and still competing. Who's got the stronger, better arm?
I just think I have a stronger arm.
Yeah, stronger arm.
But Keenan can throw the ball. His precision, his accuracy is pretty great. Game speed is game speed, so whenever you can turn it on, I would say Keenan's faster because he runs a lot more than I do, so he's a lot more explosive than I am.
Having played together and against one another for years, they have developed a unique quarterback-receiver. A major recruiting coup from North Carolina. Sort of the 5 Musketeers, all for one and one for all.
We all hang out, my place, their place, his place. We all trying to stay together.
Yeah, we're a tight-knit group. We all come out here with one goal is play football and win ball games. We all got that set of mind and we're a family.
So we look forward to those guys making the big connections on the field this year. Also, you're going to change a little bit as far as your staff. You've had some changes there, but you're also going to go back and do more of the play calling. I think I read something prior to camp that it's more difficult to be a play caller from the sideline than it is from the booth. Why is that for a coordinator?
Well, I mean, that's a personal opinion. When I was a coordinator and I was in the box, I found it much easier to call plays. Your sheets are all spread out in front of you, you're circling things, you can be more organized. On the sideline, you have one thing, you're trying to deal with it, you're trying to watch a game, you can't see the other side of the field, so on and so forth. So I think, personally, as a play caller, it's much easier from up top.
Okay, and then while you're on the sideline, you need eyes in the sky, so to speak. Who will be those eyes this year for you?
Eric Keesaw will be up there, and going to rely on him a lot, actually, to, I feel great about our offensive staff and the familiarity that we have with one another, with Coach Mahalchuk and Eric Keesaw and Ron Gould and myself. We've been together for a long, long time. They left for a couple years, and now they're back. And so the communication there is great. And so we will call the plays all together. And I will really rely on Eric from the top to kind of either call a play or some plays or give us some input on what's going on.
Also, as a play caller, you need to think about the next offensive series, but as the head coach, you need to be totally consumed with what's going on with the rest of the game as well. How do you balance that? You've done that in the past.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing new. It's not that, you have a difficult time from the sideline. It's just, it's easier from the top. If you're the coordinator on top, you're not really worried about what's going on defense at the time. You're just circling plays and you're just charting things and looking at what happened the previous series. On the sideline as the head coach calling the plays, you still have to pay attention to what's happening for your defense, for penalty situations, for clock management, all that type of thing. So it's not the same as just being a coordinator in the box calling the plays.
All right, Coach, stick around a little bit later on. We want to talk about the opener against Fresno State and playing games away from Memorial Stadium, that and more. But when we come back immediately, we'll talk defense with coordinator Clancy Pendergast, and later in the program, get you inside the High Performance Center and what's new with Memorial Stadium. That and more as the Pepsi Cal Sports Report continues.